This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so on your screen right now, you'll see a brief map, if you want to call it that, of Great Britain. And you'll see the northeast just under the border of Scotland. So it's a big chunk of Great Britain, certainly England. And while it's not really known as a boxing place, it's becoming it. It forever will be football for sure, but boxing is starting to really gather momentum in the northeast. Luckily for me, this is where I was born, this is where I currently live. Then by my accident, I spent a bit of time down south. But thankfully, boxing is really starting to become a huge, huge part of the northeast. And a lot of the promoters, and I'm sure a lot of you who are hardcore British boxing fans have already noticed that a lot of shows are happening in the northeast, and I'm hearing that a lot more will be happening even in the early part of 2022, lockdown aside of course. So I want to go through all the promoters and networks who already have northeast fighters under their banner, and of course there are quite a few more who, if a platform wants to literally take over the northeast, there are some fighters out there that is certainly going to help them. Okay, so to start with, I want to go through the networks that already have some northeast boxers. Now, I'm going to start off with Sky Sports. Of course, it's fronted by Ben Shalom and his boxer. They have Savannah Marshall, Stephen USSR Robinson, Josh Kelly, April Hunter, Georgia O'Connor, and Michael Webster. That's a very, very good, strong stable of northeast fighters. When it comes to Probellum, of course, they're a new outfit. They seem to be very, very strongly linked, or at least have a very good relationship with MTK. A lot of the MTK fighters are going over to Probellum. And of course, there are still a lot of northeast fighters still under the MTK contract. Will that be moved to Probellum? We'll have to wait and find out. But currently, Probellum, of course, that's fronted by Richard Schaefer. But of course, they've got Sam Jones there. They've got Phil Jeffries. Of course, he's boxing promoter and manager for the northeast and that as well. But with their fighters so far, Lewis Ritson, Mark Dickinson, Luke and Pat McCormack, Troy Williamson, Ben Rees, all quality fighters. So again, they have a very, very strong stable so far. And I'm sure they'll certainly be looking to add to it, as will Sky. When it comes to Eddie Hearn, of course, Eddie Hearn at one time pretty much had the monopoly on northeast. Again, we're talking about promoters and platforms that have TV, of course. Whereas Eddie Hearn, just last year, even before lockdown, pretty much had the northeast on lock. But due to him going solo with DAZN, obviously other networks, they want to now get in on the northeast. So a lot of his fighters that were previously under the Matchroom banner are now dispersed onto some other ones. But he does have Callum French and Cyrus Patterson. Both outstanding talent. They really are. Is that enough to put on a show in the northeast? Right now, I'm not too sure. But in the next couple of years, maybe, especially if he starts adding some talent from the northeast as well. And of course, you've got Dennis Hobson with his FightZone. Again, they've got two quality fighters. Tommy the Hitman Hodgson, who, of course, he was one of the guys that I was touting to the likes of Eddie Hearn and that beforehand. And for whatever reason, they just didn't really seem to be responding too well. So Dennis Hobson has seen the kind of talent that Tommy Hodgson has, and he's benefiting from it. Those of you who have seen him fight will know exactly what I'm talking about. He is absolutely electric, as is Anth Ormsby. Anth Ormsby is a quality fighter. He really is. And of course, he's just signed up with Dennis Hobson. So we'll have to wait and see what it is that Dennis Hobson does when it comes to the northeast. Now, as far as the taking over and pretty much getting the northeast on lock, currently it will be between Ben Shalom and Richard Schaefer, as in Boxer, Sky Sports and Probellum. It will be between those. But the fighters that they should certainly be looking at, and for me, Rob Ismay. Rob Ismay, he was, once upon a time, he was a light heavyweight. Then, of course, he took some time off due to personal things in his life. His last couple of fights, he's come back as heavyweight. In fact, his last one I actually recorded. So go check out that one. This guy is phenomenal in the ring. Okay, but he will be a cruiserweight going forward. He will not be heavyweight, not at all, but he will be cruiserweight. But he has footwork, and quite a few people have told me this before. He has one of the best footwork you'll ever see in boxing. But along with his in-ring ability, again, he's undefeated, he's 10-0, but he has massive influence on the Northeast boxing community. He knows everybody, not just them personally, but of course he knows their families, he knows everybody, and he has huge influence. I mean, I'll call him the godfather of the Northeast boxing community, because he has such influence, and it's respect from all the Northeast fighters. They all love Rob Ismay. So basically what I'm telling you is that anybody who was to sign, say, Rob Ismay, they're not just signing the talent, which of course he is, but they're also signing a lot of influence. So as an example, he signed with Sky. He's Team Sky. A lot of the fighters will go over to Sky if the opportunity arises, of course. Now, Rob, he trains at the DAZN Boxing Academy under Nick Gittis, but of course he does frequent himself at Division Gym with Mark Clazell, Stephen Robinson, George O'Connor, and he finds himself down there at Bertley quite a bit as well, which is arguably the most famous boxing gym in the Northeast. Of course, this is where the McCormack twins come from, Cyrus Patterson, Callum French, Joe Laws, and quite a few others and that have come from. Okay, and everyone loves Rob Ismay. He's a must for anybody who wants to crack the Northeast. But again, on your screen with Rob Ismay, you'll see three other people there. You got Adam Gear, undefeated cruiserweight. Once upon a time, he was calling out Marcellus Wilder. Marcellus Wilder bottled it. He did bottle it, okay? But Adam Gear, he's MTK. Again, I don't know if that's going to be a problem with him being MTK when it comes to, say, Sky and that, for example. I don't know. So maybe Probellum can do something with Adam Gear. Adam Gear is a phenomenal fighter. Phenomenal. I mean, he called himself the forgotten man of Northeast. I'm not too sure I agree with that. Again, I filmed his last fight with TK. And for those of you who watched the build-up, of course, I filmed it all here on the channel. The build-up between himself and TK. He's not shy of a few words. He really isn't. And his in-ring fighting is something that is going to be very fan-friendly. Just likes to go to war, but he's actually a tremendous boxer. Very good boxer. Kerry Haley, she hasn't made a professional debut yet. Again, all of these are trained at the DAZN Boxing Academy with Nick Gitters. She hasn't made a professional debut yet. She was supposed to have done. There was some kind of issues. I'm not exactly sure what it was. Something to do with tickets, I think. I'm not sure. Although I did hear that she got ill as well. But of what I've seen of her, again, I've seen her spar quite a few rounds with Georgia, with Jordan and that as well. And she's very good fighter. Very good fighter. Certainly one to watch, as is Jordan Barker Porter. Now, she's 1 win, 1 loss. That 1 loss, of course, I was there. I was watching it, and I wasn't too sure if it was the right decision at the time, but I didn't argue with it. But I then watched it back, and I feel that Jordan did win that fight. I do. But again, she's MTK as well. But again, very able fighter. Very good fighter. Now we can move on. Alex Farrell. Alex Farrell, for me, is a gem up here. He really is. In fact, there's lots of gems, but Alex Farrell, he's the Greek warrior. Phenomenal fighter. His last 2 fights, one of which I recorded, not the last one, but the one before that, where he's just getting knockouts lately. He's been training alongside Troy Williamson and that as well. Super welterweight. What a talent. And a lovely man as well. Very good on interviews. Comes across extremely well, but in the ring, ferocious. But again, very good boxer. Somebody needs to snap up Alex Farrell. Somebody needs to, because whoever doesn't is going to end up knowing about him and regretting it. Much like they will with Rob Ismay and that as well. Matt Stark McCallum, again, he's an MTK fighter. He's 2-0, but again, he's so... I know there's something about him. There's an aura. When I've interviewed him, there's like an aura about him that he just comes across very well. And his fighting style, again, he can box, but he loves to have a bit of a tear up. As his last fight will show you. Again, I recorded his last fight on the Matt Jobe show. And very good fighter, exciting personality. Bazzi Razak, he's been around a little bit. He has, and again, he trains alongside Stephen Robinson and Georgia O'Connor with Mark Clazel. In fact, he's trained by Giuseppe over there. Again, very, very good fighter. He's looking to get back to the weight that he wants to be at, which is a welterweight. And Mark Clazel really believes in him. Again, I've seen him spar many rounds, and what a talent, absolute super talent. So at some point, somebody somewhere will need to be looking at Bazzi Razak. Moving on, you've got Nathan Comiskey. He's 1-0 right now. Again, he's a Matt Jobs fighter. He's trained and managed by Matt Jobs. Very, very good on interviews. Very good story in that about him. Cool, calm, collected, and even in the ring. When I was talking to him before his professional debut, you wouldn't have thought that was his professional debut. You wouldn't have thought it. He was so calm, so relaxed. It was unbelievable. It really was. But he's such a talent. Such a talent. Somebody somewhere will be looking at him. Tommy Ward. Why nobody has him under a promotional contract is beyond me. I don't know. He's MTK, but nobody has him under a promotional deal. I don't know why Sky don't, or why Matchroom never did. He's ready for a world title. He's there. He's ready. He's able. He's ready to go. Somebody somewhere needs to sign up Tommy Ward. Because if not, then somebody else will do it, and then they're going to have a world champion on their hands. Very, very simple. Joe Laws as well. One of the biggest ticket sellers in the Northeast. We know that. He's very flamboyant. He's crazy. He's funny, but he's such a lovely man. He really is. And he loves to fight. But lately, in his last couple of fights, again, I filmed his last fight because on the Probellum show, the live camera stopped filming because it went over time. So I recorded that fight for him. It's up here on his channel. And you can see he's starting to become a boxer, which is something that I've always known was there. In fact, when he used to train at Wall's End with Nick Gitters, he could do it. We've seen him do it in sparring many times, but on fight night, the crowd would get to him and he'd just go looking for the knockout. Now he's starting to control that. So somebody somewhere will be signing up Joe Law. Sam Menzies, undefeated, super bantamweight, trains under Mal Gates. And what a backstory with these two. That they lost the gym during the lockdown period, but they were still training. They're out there in the parks. They were gym hopping and whatever else. Hopefully they'll be getting their gym back real soon. But what a talent. And I said to Sam Menzies after his fight, because I recorded it for the Matt Jobs show, his last one, and just filming him is quite hard to keep up because he's so fast. He's here, there and everywhere. He's like a little Jack Russell. He's here, there and everywhere. His hands are lightning fast. His feet are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Somebody somewhere needs to sign up Sam Menzies. Now, of course, when you're talking about ticket sales and star power, Aaron Chalmers. Now, he's, of course, been part of Geordie Shore, not a show that I ever watched, but of course I know about him. In fact, he's good friends with quite a few people up here in the Northeast as well. And he has been doing some MMA as well. For those of you who follow MMA, you would have seen him there. But he's now going to be turning pro. In fact, I've known this for a little while. I believe he's actually training under Adam Booth as well. But of course, when he comes up here, he does do some work with Nick Gitters and that as well. I've never actually met him. I've never spoken to him. But of what I hear, people who do know him, like Stephen Robinson, said that he's a quality lad. He's absolutely quality. But he's a massive ticket seller. When he sells tickets for his MMA, it's phenomenal. So whoever signs him for boxing, and I'm hearing that somebody may already have. I don't want to say it just in case I'm wrong. But if it's true, whoever got him, or does get him, big ticket sales. Big ticket sales coming from Aaron Chalmers. How will he do as a professional boxer? Well, we don't know. We don't know. Time will tell on that one. Laura Wilson, it took me the best part of, well over a year to convince her to turn pro. And that's exactly what she's done now. She's now decided to turn pro. She was an excellent amateur. Very, very good amateur. Won multiple titles and everything. Didn't have too many amateur fights. Didn't have too many. I think it was around about the 20 mark. I'm off the top of my head. But such a she's an electric fighter. Really, really is. But now she's trained under Matt Jobs at the Jobs gym. So it'll be interesting to see where her journey goes. Sam Wallace also trains with Matt Jobs. Now, he did make his professional debut. Again, I did record that fight. It was a 4-rounder. And he did get stopped in the 4th round. Unfortunately for him, because the first 3 rounds, or first 3.5 rounds, he was dominating. It looked like an easy night at the office. Then he got caught. He got hit to the canvas. He was a little bit wobbly. But on watching the replay back, I think the referee did stop that fight too early because his opponent was swinging at him, but he was actually missing him. But the referee stepped in anyway. But hey, listen, You know, the referee was right behind the opponent when it was happening, so I suppose he couldn't really see what was landing and what wasn't. But hey, what can you do? It's a learning fight for him. Ewan McKenzie, again, undefeated, he got his first stoppage win on the Probellum show last time out. But again, he's still looking for a promotional deal. In fact, all of these are. And Ewan McKenzie, undefeated. I've seen him spar quite a few rounds with Bazzi Rizak and what have you. I know he's been sparring the likes of Joe Laws, and he trains alongside Robbie Coleman and that as well. But he's electric, southpaw, very, very awkward. Very, very awkward fighter. And he's one of these fighters who's just permanently on your chest. Doesn't let you breathe. And as he's going up the rounds, because now he's starting to do 6-rounders, that's when you're going to start to see a lot more knockouts, because a lot of his opponents will not be able to take the work rate. They're going to look for a way out. He's that good. He really is. Chad Ellis, again, he's an MTK fighter. He won his last fight. Again, I recorded that one. And I think Chad Ellis is one of these kind of guys. I think he was a little bit unfortunate in his one and only loss. I mean, he did get stopped when he fought for the area title, for the Northern Area welterweight title, where I thought that Chad just got caught. That's all it was. That's all it was. He just got caught. Hey, it's boxing, but he's very, very good. Of course, he trains with or at the MTK Newcastle gym. Although I'm not too sure why they call it MTK Newcastle, as it's actually Gateshead. I'm not too sure what that is. Anyway, people need to be having a look at him. And Enrico Samba. Again, he made his professional debut. He got officially a draw, but I think a lot of that was down to nervous energy. He seemed to tire out after 3 rounds, even though I know that he's super, super fit. Again, he trains at the Jobs gym with Matt Jobs and that. Again, very, very good fighter, technical fighter. He's one of these kind of, I don't want to call him flamboyant, but he kind of is. Very, very skillful, very, very sure of himself. But I think his pro debut, obviously he brought a lot of people to the event for him. Maybe the nervous energy just got to him, which he will learn from. He will certainly learn from. And Robbie Coleman. Robbie Coleman, as I said before, trains alongside Ewan McKenzie at Bilton Hall. And again, lovely man. I mean, I've only met him, I think twice I've met him. And very, very nice guy, but I know he's a super talent. He's a super talent. I know people in the Northeast are very, very excited about him turning pro. I think he's actually just waiting for his boxing license at the minute to get approved from the board. But again, somebody that people need to look at. So in a nutshell, really, as to who is actually going to be locking down the Northeast, it could be any of these guys. It could be Ben Shalom. It could be Richard Schaefer. It could be Eddie Hearn. Or it could be Dennis Hobson. Maybe Mick Hennessy wants to get in on the action. Maybe, we don't know yet. But the Northeast certainly seems to be the place where these boxing promoters want to come to. They really do. I mean, Eddie Hearn pretty much has London on lock. So I suppose the best thing to look at is look elsewhere. The Northeast being one of them. Of course, you're going to be looking at like Yorkshire and other places and that as well. But the Northeast does seem to be becoming a hotbed of boxing. It really does. Who's going to win the race for this one? As I said, for me, whoever signs a couple of these fighters. Rob Ismay, huge talent, massive talent. And as I said before, I call him the Godfather. I don't know whether that's something that Rob would like or not, I don't know. But his influence, due to the respect of all the Northeast fighters, is second to none. He is a must for whoever wants to take over. And of course, there's plenty of other fighters out there, like Alex Farrell and listen, the list goes on. It really does. And I know I probably missed out a couple of people. Oh, for example, Andy Simpson as well. He trains with Matt Jobs as well. I've never seen him fight, but I've heard that he's a tremendous talent. So we'll have to wait and see how his professional debut gets going. Hannah Robinson, she spends a bit of time up here in that as well. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it all. Of course, you drop me yours. Is any of those fighters out there, do you believe that a platform should be looking at? Who do you think will win the race? Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next video.